Hello and welcome to the show. We start this week's FailRace episode with Stinty on GTA 5 driving through the train tunnels, the underground, with a Panto and getting amazingly lucky. Yes, you probably couldn't do that one if you were aiming for it particularly. I didn't know the Panto could fit, but running around the rule doesn't realise there's a train coming until far too late. But just the right size to manage to sneak that Panto in the gap. Well played indeed. Wally up next on ASSetto Corsa. Now they are racing some GT cars, goes for an overtake on the Audi. It's a good run down this next straight. However, well, things go disastrously wrong for the car we're riding on board. I think it's a Jaguar here. It gets turned and flips and spins and tumbles and twists its way through the gravel trap. Now, from on board the vehicle, it looks, I mean, everything's going fine, and it doesn't. The player car comes across, it squeezes a little bit, and the Audi's kind of right at the edge of its place. Maybe the player should have just left a little bit more space on the outside for the Audi. The Audi was always going to be where it wanted to go there, and ends up in a big crash. This one a little bit more on the AI here. Mike on Project Cars 2, racing side by side in BMW M1 Pro cars. It does come across a little bit on an AI, but they have plenty of space, and I mean all manner of things go wrong when you hit at that sort of high speeds here at Mugello. Player car ends up upside down, a couple of other vehicles are spun out. I mean this one here, so yeah, the player does move across a little bit, the AI has plenty of space, and they do sort themselves out from the initial kind of wandering, and then the AI car just gets bored and decides, you know what, I'm going to steer hard left into the rear corner. I mean it is a full-on online public lobby manoeuvre right there, and of course leads to the big crash. Golden Piggy up next on Dirt Rally. Yes, the rally portion of today's video. Now, accidents in Dirt Rally 2, where you get things a little bit wrong, bump a rock, go for a roll, land perfectly pointing the way that you want to be going, do happen sometimes in this game. You can sometimes get away with such a roll, such a flip. Sometimes they don't, though. Things like this one, FourgetFul on Dirt Rally. This is New Zealand with an Escort, and that's a big roll. Bounces off the inside, sort of dirt banking, if you like. That's a huge roll for the car. Doesn't land on its wheels to carry on. We then have the guy with the Mini finding out that if you run just a little bit wide, bumps a log pile, upsets the car. Can't get it back under control again before it flips and twists and spins its way through the air. It does land back on its wheels, only this time not pointing the right direction. I believe we have covered all bases now with our rally cars having issues and can't quite get it turned around again to carry on. You have to go for a 3-point turn there. Yep, you are. Or at least rally cars, we've got different issues for Tony Ski up next on V Rally 4. So this is one of the ludicrous hill climb cars. I can't remember what category it is on here. Very silly fast, this sort of vehicle, and well, easy to make mistakes on. Thing is, well, this particular mistake runs wide, hits a rock, and the rock just says, nope, you're going back over here. Does land on the wheels to carry back on again, but I'm not sure that's how physics work. We've got like spongy, pingy rocks. I don't know what the thing is. Well, there's a little mistake going into the tunnel, but it's just misses the braking point a little bit. But I don't know why it decides the car should go backwards and twist through the air a couple of times. It's fine. In fact, car is on no problem, so I guess it is fine. Everybody gets away with it in the end. Rally cars. MLHOUSE up next on Just Cause 4 with a helicopter that thinks it's in SnowRunner. I'm not quite sure what's gone on with this particular helicopter. It's not happy, I can tell you that much. It doesn't quite know where it is or what it's supposed to be doing. I guess it is technically flying, so it is an helicopter. It smacks into the control tower before pinging off again. It's a little bit difficult, admittedly, to film and find out what's going on here when you've got all the authorities shooting at you. Shame they could never manage to could never get a tether attached to it to see what would happen. Probably bad things at this point. But yeah, I mean, it's technically flying around in one way or another. Ish. It could still be doing that to this day, for all I know. It's still going. It's still over there and still doing its thing. Rubber Bushing's up next on My Summer Car. Has taken the motorbike to go and collect a Satsuma. I presume a crashed Satsuma or something along those lines. Now, they're trying to load the motorbike into the boot of the car, and well, it doesn't quite fit, and the game decides that the best way to deal with this is to just flip the Satsuma over and launch a exhaust. I was about to say a fire extinguisher, but no, I think that's the exhaust of the Satsuma that's ended up beside it. Don't try and fit your motorbike in the boot of your car. Still Guns on BeamNG Drive has got a flip truck. So this is a big dump truck with like the flip scoop. It's going to crash into a police car. It turns out, well, yes, it will flip the police car. Might also destroy your car. Well, truck. I mean, the flip truck should be a formidable opponent. That was one car, and then that's the end of the truck. But literally the whole thing's fallen apart. The chassis is there, but that's about it. The cab's fallen off, the back bit's gone. The bonnet's somewhere else. The chassis is actually twisted up quite badly. And the FailRace Police Department, they just wanted to make sure it was dead. Just for good luck. Oh, the FailRace Police Department are not the cleverest. They're not the brightest bulbs in the shed, that is for sure. But there we go. And finally, we have got Ghost with an IRL clip here from a track day with the good old Code Brown moment. Now, I've done these many times in racing games. A little bit different when you're doing it in your actual car, on an actual circuit. Everything going, you know, all relatively normal. Everything all going fairly well when the back end steps out in the Corvette. It is a very big slide. It's a great catch, I will say that much. That is a good save. Very good save. Very much trouser browning moment, I suspect. One, but there we go. That is going to be it for this episode. As ever, if you have clips you'd like to submit to this series, you can via our forums. There'll be a link in the description. At the very top of the page is the FailRace clip submission section, and there you can find all of the rules and how to submit them. That, though, is going to be it from me. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.